to One Piece chapter 1188. Whatever it's called. I haven't got it up yet. Okay. So I knew we were getting a color page this week. I haven't paid any close attention to it, but you can tell who Oda's favorite Straw Hat to draw is. That's for sure. Oh, quick summary for anyone who's watching this. Okay, quick summary. Very much important because of how I'm speaking right now. For anyone watching this video on YouTube hasn't seen the Hunter x Hunter one. I'm currently very tired, very sweaty, very hot, leaning forward over my uncle's chair because I'm house sitting for him and looking after his cat. If the cat starts meowing in the background, I will need to feed him because he is exceptionally loud. That's about all I have to sum up. So probably going to keep the discussion short on this. I'm going to have to, because I really need to get going soon. So let's get into this. A beautiful color page. Honestly, I really like it. I mean, Nami is the highlight. I mean, even as someone who prefers Robin, who does look great in what little we can see of her, and I always love when she gets paired with Frankie on these color pages. You can tell Oda was possessed by something when he drew this. Usopp swimming away from a shark. Air. I'm not entirely sure what Nami's holding. Who just messaged me? I'm getting messages. I have to get back to those in a bit. Yeah, looks nice. Let's get into this chapter of One Piece. Ooh. Oh, okay. This is like the least One Piece beginning to a chapter, I think I've seen in a while. Hello, come in. Hello? What? Huh? Who are you? Chapter 1188, Vohu. That is such an interesting... Presumably it's a name of someone. Whenever in Japanese you see like a the sound, usually that means it's very intentionally put there and probably has a meaning. Because the isn't a naturally occurring sound in Japanese. You can depict it in Japanese, but you have to write an oo sound, put a little dot on it, and then put a small vowel next to it, and that way you can turn oo into vo, va, vi, vu, ve, vo. Not naturally occurring, and there's a whole thing. I watched a video recently about the alternating popularity of saying bayorin and violin for violin. So when I see like a the sound in Japanese, it's very intentional, probably has some kind of significance if a writer went to the effort to put in that sound that shouldn't exist in their native language. There does have ways to write it. Anyway, who are you? Mu? I am Imu. Who art thou? Oh, me? I'm Joy Boy. It looks quite like Luffy. Indeed, Joy Boy is long dead. What is this? Is this memories? I mean, it has to be memories. Did Emu and Joy Boy meet through a transponder snail chat? That's interesting. I really can't wait until we finally get into all of this. I imagine we're not getting much more of it today, but that's very interesting. Why dost thou remind Mu of that time? And we see Luffy squaring up to take on Emu. Ominous flames wrapping Emu's arm. Luffy just here with a Shiruka! That's, I imagine, what he's saying in Japanese. Shiruka. But yeah, how should I know? Be really embarrassing if I just messed that up. I'm not a native Japanese speaker, as you could probably guess. I just know it a little bit. But I heard that panel in my head. Now I might have heard it wrong, but I heard it in my head, and I had to share that with the world. Anyway, so he's going for like an omen punch. Luffy sends his head down to dodge, and the omens are saying, "Oh, he dodged below us, down, down." So it's this is awesome. This is awesome. I love this. Okay, so I was literally talking to my friend last night because we both read One Piece, but I stream it. I read it on the day it comes out. He usually waits a couple days because he reads it on the bus to work. He doesn't work Sundays. So we were talking about Emu's powers, the omens. Feels very Big Mom-esque, and now I love that he's sort of using it the same as Luffy. It's kind of like a Snake Man punch. Jet Culverin, I think was that attack. So Luffy goes to dodge. Emu follows through and sends him exploding into the ground. I think that's awesome. And we see Luffy just struggling in the ground and jumping back up, I suppose. And he's all charred and goes to punch Emu. Emu seems to just teleports behind you. I like this because it is just a charred up, burnt up Luffy, but it looks almost like a new form. Looks quite, it's giving me Snake Man vibes again. Anyway, Emu's weapon does a little boom. What was it? It has the blade in that panel, so it's not like transforming, is it? It just booms. I'm not sure. Oh, of course. He goes to stab Luffy, but Luffy is also doing like a little teleports behind you, which is funny. And Luffy goes for some Gatling-esque attack. Emu blocks with a gunk. I was able to hit you before. Oh, are we going to explain? I didn't think we needed an explanation. I thought it was just Emu's distracted by Loki. Luffy gets a punch in, but we're not selling Emu that short. We're explaining why that happened. Well, at the very least, we see him summoning an omen on his hands and blasting Luffy. He's doing his little sonic run. Close one. More omens homing in on Luffy. Whoa, they're chasing me. Are those supposed to be bombs? Running away. Gum. This is Gatling. He's punching every single one of the bombs at the same time with a jet Gatling. Okay, I guess it's not like Gear 5 specialized enough to be like a Dawn Gatling or a Dawn Jet Gatling. He's just using a Gear 2 move in Gear 5. Jet Gatling them to hit them all at the same time. Cool. And we see another Gum. I'm really liking the choreography and the ability usage this chapter. I feel like I don't know the last time I was sort of like feeling a fight like this, to be honest. Like, fights are never what I really come to One Piece for. I do enjoy them when we focus on them, of course. But I don't think Egghead... Elbaf so far hasn't really had a fight that's made me like, oh yeah. Oda, you don't usually sort of specialize in these fights, at least you haven't in a while. But yeah, you used your time well here, and you invested a good amount of time and made a cool fight. I don't think I've felt that way in Elbaf yet. We haven't had that many fights. It's been a lot of action set pieces. Oh, you know what? Gaban against Sommers and Robin against Sommers as well. Both of those made me feel very hype, even if they were short. This being longer is, it's the same feeling, but lasting longer, so I can't really complain. Yeah, we see another Gum coming up, and it is Genie! Ooh. Going full, can I remember an obscure Soul Eater character's name? Jin. It was Jin something, wasn't it? Oh, I can't remember. There was a time I remembered every Soul Eater character. I'm thinking of the Death Scythe, who like summons the genie, and it's all Arcana themed. Oh, nice to see you in chat, Rafs. Yeah, Luffy can genie now, whatever that means. Yeah, it still says I have 0 viewers, so I was very surprised to see a message. Daifuku downscale. Yeah. Oh, let's see what the hell he's doing here. Ho 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 ho! Oh yeah, I saw your fight with Loki. I won't let his death be in vain. Oh, okay. Luffy accepting someone's death is interesting. You know, like it reminds me of like that one really heavily criticized panel in Egghead, where it's like Luffy and Gear 5 cackling over the dying Vegapunk. And I'm not like a big fan of that, but I rationalize it as Luffy doesn't know Vegapunk's dying. You know, he sees he's injured. He's seen worse injuries than that. Luffy has seen really grotesque injuries that people just shrug off because it's One Piece. Maybe he didn't know Vegapunk was dying, and that's why he was acting what he is. I think it's really interesting to see how Luffy's going to act here now that we know that he believes. It doesn't matter if Loki actually dies, but he believes Loki's dying. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to shut up the Gear 5 haters, but, you know, it'll be a good sign of this is how serious or how unserious, I could be eating my words soon, Luffy acts when someone's dying on him. Just notice the meat symbol on Genie Luffy's turban. That's funny. Begs the point about out, Rafs. I'm alive. Oh, I'm alive, you moron. Oh, hey, Loki, you're alive. Okay, I really should have held my tongue. The Hunter x Hunter reaction and the One Piece reaction this week really have just had me going on a ramble about something that would get corrected one panel later. Oh, crap, damn it. Move, Ragnar. What's going on here? So, I have to lean in here. So, Loki's watching the fight. Emu's charging up some omens. Loki's saying, crap, damn it, the omens are aimed at him. He's telling Ragnar to move because he doesn't want him blown to smithereens. But in front of the selflessly Mr. Presidenting Ragnar, Jinbei is preparing an Aberesque brick fist. Let's see how he fends off Emu's attacks, because we've already seen Sanji and Zoro put up an attempt. Jinbei! Luffy, do you want me to make sure he's protected? Okay, this is a long wind-up attack. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Jinbei. He's my pal. I ain't nobody's pal, stupid pipsqueak. All right, I can do that. You focus on the fight. Oh, I can't do Jinbei voice after a whole chapter of Benjamin voice. I can't. I like to give him a gruff voice. Okay, I wasn't sure if Jinbei was like getting ready to block Emu's attack, but no, he already did, which is a hell of a Jinbei upscale. I mean, I'm not like deep into power scaling, but I feel like that is a feat that puts him over Zoro and Sanji. Yeah, perfect. What kind of king would Jinbei be? I'm going to assume he won't get Conqueror's Haki, but I mean, the King of the Sea, I guess, Kaio. Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Zoro can be King of Hell. Sanji can be King of Heaven or something. Jinbei can be King of the Sea. But yeah, that would fit. I'd say it would feel a bit out of place, but I see the scheme that Oda could lean into. Anyway, all right, I can do that. You focus on the fight. I'm going to have to stop doing voices, getting lightheaded because of the heat. Once again, Benjamin ruins everything. Is he going to be all right? Well, that's Luffy. He's fine the guy from before. Is he going to be all right? Who is that guy anyway? The only people higher than the Knights of God. I can do Brook. Brook's a very light English voice. I can do that. The only people higher than the Knights of God are supposed to be the 5 elders, as far as I know. So maybe he's the Knights' commander. I bet that's it. There is no group more shrouded in mystery than the world government. Hey, Brook, she's almost out. Ah, Princess Shuri. What's our next step? What does one do with a frozen person? Well, let's see. When Robin and Luffy got frozen, I like the callback. They've been frozen before? Oh, Straw Hats never change. Just continue never talking about anything that happened. Oh, it's like beginning of this arc. None of the post Alabaster Straw Hats recognized the cross on the hands. They never spoke about that. Robin never brought up that she spent time with Dragon, and Sabo not that Luffy would care. No one's ever brought up that no one's ever told Brook that they fought Aokiji, got frozen, and lived to tell the tale. Gunko, couldst thou not break that ice? Gum gum. A man with an afro, calling Gunko Princess Shuri? Could it be? He remembers Brook. That's awesome. Caught you slipping, bullet. Oh, I like that. Gum gum caught you slipping, bullet. Yeah, I guess this is like Luffy's biggest form right now. Probably bigger than Gum Gum Giant, and I love the look of it. Were thou not watching earlier? He rings the little bell. Who's weeing? Phrasing. Those omens? Oh, it's his beard. It took me ages to realize what was going on there. His beard's burning up. Ach! Watching what happened to Loki despite his size. Stigma. And Luffy pops out of his genie form and does a little emergency exit. I love that. Emu shoots more omens. Luffy's winding something up. He's running away, doing his little sonic run. Emu returns to the ground. Swoops his halberd or naginata, whatever it is. Takes out a little omen. Puts it into the... Okay, he swoops away. Okay, what I'm gonna... Oh, it's a little pop. Okay, so what he does... turns the halberd into an omen, pops the omen into the Hagoromo, pulls from the Hagoromo a katana. Blade of Nothingness, Vohu. Vohu. So, Blade of Nothingness, Vohu. I mean, maybe it's just supposed to sound cool and foreign, but I feel like there's maybe some meaning here in Vohu. Vohu. I mean, come from void. Yeah, I wonder if it's written with kanji in Japanese. That'd be interesting. I'll have to wait, see what they say on the One Piece podcast, because they always give the details like that, or, you know, wherever you get your translation notes. Anyway, we see a tree decaying, rotting apart as if someone's just whipped out Magatsumi. And we see Emu. Okay, what exactly is he doing here? Just curving the tree. Okay. Deleafing all the trees. Very helpfully, Luffy says, huh? The forest dried out. The view is clearer now. Same up here. We see Luffy jump up. Of course I know. Oh, of course I know, thou art not Joy Boy. Huh? Luffy's surprised by something. Emu glares, and that is a visceral sound effect. Dos. Should. Luffy coughs up blood. Go! Cries out some omens. Luffy cries out in pain. Joy Boy was not this weak. I think that's the author. That's the author. That's the aura. I think a lot of people have been waiting from Emu. Waiting from Emu. I'm very, very tired. That is a hell of a panel to end a chapter on. What are we saying in chat? Yeah, has Magatsumi, oh no. Oh, who said, did I say that first, or did Raph say it first? I'm not sure who spoke first. He's stealing the spirit energy around him, not ready for the Sword Saint, and we got yeah, very crocodile-esque. Yeah, it is a very striking panel. I have been waiting for this moment since we first got Gear 5. And what do I mean by this moment? I mean someone who successfully penetrates Luffy's... It's not Toon Force, but, you know, his cartoony abilities. Because that's the thing. Eventually, by the end of One Piece, it can't just be the case that every fight is the big bad scary guy roaring and punching and thrashing while Luffy's just going wah 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 rubbery punches. That can't happen, in the final arc. At some point, some antagonist needs to be able to penetrate the cartoon logic of Gear 5. I didn't think that was going to be Kaido, because, Kaido's the first villain we saw against Gear 5, and he competed against Gear 5. I think he forced Luffy out of Gear 5 one time, but Gear 5 lost to the limitations of Gear 5 rather than losing to Kaido. You get the point. Kaido didn't defeat Gear 5. Kaido outlasted Gear 5. And obviously in Egghead, Luffy doesn't really... the only big fight I feel Luffy gets in Egghead is Lucci. And obviously, cool fight, not pushing Luffy. That fight exists to show how powerful Luffy is. And he struggles in Egghead. He punches War Curie. It's like, my hand. Even that is cartoonish. It's not like he punches War Curie and his hand's just like, oh God, it's bleeding. It's, it's played as a joke. Luffy in Gear 5 can lose, but he loses as a joke and he bounces back, as Rubber does. What I have been waiting for is when a villain overpowers the joyity of Gear 5, and we finally got that here. The edgelord among edgelords, Saint Nerona Emu is the character. I expected it would happen before Emu, to be honest, but what better character to do it? It's just like, no, this is a fight, not a cartoon. It's a cartoon, but it's, Emu has no interest in these games. He's not like Kaido, who wants a fun fight and to see Joy Boy. And obviously Egghead's chaotic. Luffy didn't really have any rapport with any of the elders, obviously. This is really cool. Anyway, I've got some messages to read. Raf says, I think I said it first, as long as you thought of it too. We miss Kagurabachi. We do miss Kagurabachi, yeah. I saw the katana. It reminded me of a specific scene in Kagurabachi. Gonna keep it spoilerless because, not everyone who's watching a One Piece reaction on YouTube wants Kagurabachi spoilers, but it reminded me of a particular scene where Magatsumi was drawn and the trees around started decaying. Reality check. Yeah, never really beat the Gorosei, but he was showing out against all of them. Yeah. My point is, none of them gave him a reality check, even if they got in the way. War Curie was really tough, but he didn't beat Luffy. Saturn, Saturn was playing the objective. He got Vegapunk. He didn't beat Luffy. He made Luffy lose by killing and Kizaru. Both of them together had to work to kill Vegapunk, which is funny when you think of him as just an old man. I don't think he ever interacted with Mars or Nostro. And who's the other one? Oh, okay. Actually, I'm forgetting the one Luffy struggled with the most. Yeah. Jupiter. Yeah. Shepherd Jupiter. Technically, I think Luffy struggled with him the most because he got ate by him. And I think there was a bit of a back and forth going along there. But, that's the thing. When Luffy is defeated briefly by Jupiter, he's eaten by him. It's comical, and then the giants come along and cut Jupiter open. And Luffy's like, yeah, I missed you too. He can lose, but it's played as a joke. I think it's really important that we've got a character now that can penetrate the joke. This is the punchline, you die. I think that's what Emu absolutely needed to be. I think if Emu couldn't do this, he's a failure as a villain. So I am very much glad he did. This was a cool fight. I think the genie form is awesome. I don't care if it has literally no explanation. It looks great. I think it's just more fun than him going giant again. I think that did everything it needed to do in Egghead. Having playing with Kizaru like a toy and turning Saturn and Kizaru into pizzas is... Oh, and in Wano, grabbing the lightning and coming down from the sky. That is everything I wanted Luffy to do as a giant. Okay, there's more I want to see him do as a giant, probably. But that served its purpose. Genie Luffy is visually really cool, visually very different to Giant Luffy. You know, instead of basically playing around like normal Luffy, he just does a bullet. He doesn't do a pistol. He doesn't attack with the environment. He just does a bullet, which is like Luffy's... People think of pistol as Luffy's most basic attack, but at the very least, that's a stretchy punch. Bullet is usually like, I'm going to stretch and then normal punch with extra momentum. The caught you slipping bullet is such a great attack name. I love it. And my favorite thing about it is that it has an emergency exit attack. You know, he's Luffy's got down to low enough health and he's being forcibly switched out, and he has to run around and play defensively for a bit. Little does he know that by playing defensively, he's giving Emu enough time to do a little stance change and pull out the win condition. Yeah, this is cool. As I said, not going to spend a massive amount of time on discussion this time because I'm hot and tired. But this was a great chapter. Great fight chapter. Intriguing stuff at the beginning. I don't think I have much to theorize on from this first page. It's cool. I'm sure we can look back at this and it's going to be cool. We're probably going to have literally these speech bubbles overlaying a proper sequence later on. And it's going to be like, wow, this is a conversation that happened back here. Like that time we heard what the Rocks pirates were saying before God Valley. And then like dozens of chapters later, it gets totally recontextualized. Yeah, Vohu is it's just Magatsumi. Cool. Yeah. Oh god, almost knocked everything over there. I'm gonna have to call it there. This was a great chapter. This was a great stream. Thank you, Rafs in chat, for having something to bounce off of. And yeah, I thank you for watching, whether this is on Twitch live, Twitch on the VOD, or on YouTube. I hope you have a very good rest of the day. If you are also in the UK like I am and struggling with this heat wave, I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to look forward to getting air conditioning and a glass of water after this. Yeah, I will be back next week for more Hunter x Hunter, which I'm very excited for. And more... Oh, wait. Oh, God, are we on break next week? Are we on break next week? I feel like it's been a while since we've had a break. Oh, it doesn't say. If it doesn't say, that means it's a break. Usually. So yeah, I'll see you when I see you. I mean, maybe my voice needs a break. OP break, yes. Oh well. But anyway, see you in 2 weeks for One Piece. 1 week for Hunter x Hunter. Same channel, same time. Bye-bye.